Hi. The colour's really terrible in that on the selfie mode. It looked good for the picture. Anyway, I thought I'd just do a quick update on my channel because I am in the middle. I am in the middle of a monster game of Pearl Harbor by Uda Grieb Games from the Empires of Apocalypse series, and it's a great game. I mean, there's problems with the lack of rules, sort of holes in the rules and lack of rules clarity. But the designer is active on Consim World, and I asked him about one because I'm trying to play Pearl Harbor alone. It's part of a series, but it says it can be played alone. However, it didn't say certain rules that you would play together do not apply when you play it alone. So I asked that you have diplomacy, and I was trying to work out how many diplomatic points do the USA use if they're only in the Pacific theatre, and not when you're playing the whole world all together. It's not actually in the Pearl Harbor rulebook itself, and the designer replied to me, "Well, just don't use diplomacy," and fair enough. But I was a bit disappointed with that because I'd actually gone ahead and fudged some rules myself and started using diplomacy, and in the game. We're in 1940, I think. Yeah, 1940. So we started in 1939, and the Japanese have not a firm alliance, but it's called March status, whereby they can move their forces through Mongolia, and this could enable them to outflank China, because at the moment they're trying to capture China, which is kind of split into the communist and nationalist forces. And I even had Russia contribute some diplomatic points there, because obviously they would prefer Mongolia as an ally. They don't want that on their border with Japan able to move up through there. So then I went on holiday for 2 weeks, and I went to my old house in the UK, and I brought back some little games that I could sort of quickly throw into a suitcase without too much weight and space. And so I want to get back to Pearl Harbor, but I kind of want to try these little morsels first, because I need to sort of, kind of build myself up to getting back into Pearl Harbor, because it is a long game to play. So I've already played a couple of these. Just finished a video of Kung Fu 2100 and Demon 1. I played those. They're great. Sort of great little games from the Fantasy Game and the Space Gamer magazine. Then there's this, Frederick the Great, which came from Strategy and Tactics. I don't really feel like playing this because I remember when I played it, when I first got it, maybe 20 years ago, I thought it was fantastic, and it was really kind of fresh because I don't remember exactly, but it's something like it doesn't have zones of control, and Frederick's running around the whole map. The others are kind of trying to react to him, but I had good fun with it then, and I don't feel the need to go back to it right now. This I actually took on holiday with me because it's a small game. I actually took a photo of myself playing it on a hotel toilet because my family were asleep, and so the bathroom was the only place where I could be, so I couldn't disturb them. And I sat on the toilet, and this fitted perfectly on the little ledge there behind the toilet, so I was able to play this while they were asleep in bed in a hotel bathroom. And that's a great little game. It's by Bill Banks, and it's like a 2A4 sheet, World War II. You've got 30 counters a side or so. It's very simple. It's nice. It's neat, and it does the job. It was apparently upgraded to the big red one, and then now I think it's One Small Step have released a sort of even bigger upgraded version of it. So that's worth looking at. Then I've got found an old photocopy of a City Tech rulebook, City Tech, but I don't have any. Haven't with me. I guess they're packed away somewhere else. Maybe I lost them. I don't have any of the cardboard miniatures or maps, so I can't really delve into that. Then I got these two from Fantasy Games Unlimited. There's Treasure of the Lost Temple, which is kind of basically your like Indiana Jones. It's a solo adventure, and you have a map here, a basic map, which you have cut out tiles which you add to it as you explore, and then you have some counters. You have to cut out the counters here. These are your opponents, but I haven't played it. And I remember thinking it was really meh when I first had a go at it back in the day, and I think here I've actually, when I was 16 or so, I've tried to sort of make it a better game, but then I read about it, and essentially there's no distinction between any of these, so it's really sort of bland grey game. Maybe it'll be a little bit, and it's, you know, random solo tile laying. So I don't know. I'm not attracted to that, but this one I am, and I remember playing this before and having fun. Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you've got your classic. It's that old Lost World thing where you find the Valley of the Hidden Dinosaurs, etc. And that one has got your map and some charts and tables here. You've got more charts and tables. You've got dinosaur encounters. You've got dinosaur record sheets. You can see I did play it a fair bit. You've got your hunter record sheets, and you've got your rule book here, which is all of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or so pages long, and different scenarios there. And I've got the counters for it here. So they're quite big, but unfortunately they're these thin, flimsy cardboard counters. Perhaps I could mount them, but you know, it's not so easy once you cut them out. But anyway, I might play that soon. I would like to play this. It's called Diabological, but it's an abstract game. And essentially you have these really nice chits here. I mounted them with some nice thick things back on the day because the game looks lovely. It's like you're essentially you're a spellcaster. I think you go here, and then you go here, and then you summon a demon, and then you each lay your tiles trying to sort of break the other person's code because the demon's trying to possess you or something like that. You're trying to possess the demon, but being an abstract two-player game, that's not going to work solo. I might do it just as a video, and you know, for me, just to say, oh, that's how that game goes. That's interesting. What an interesting premise. Then I got some other things. I got a photocopy of Ogre, but again, I don't have the maps and the counters with me today. I remember back in the day, I was such a newbie, as it were. So I had a pristine box 4-pack SPI Desert War in the Desert, so it's like a quadra game, and I kind of liked it, but it seemed a bit, you know, the SPI style, it just felt too dry to me. That was more exciting for like 15, 18-year-old, whatever I was. So I doctored all those open desert maps to play games of Ogre on. I'm not going to play that now though, because again, Ogre, it was kind of like good in the day, but there's a slim premise, and there's only so much you can do with it. However, somewhere I do have the rules for GV, which adds more to it. Oh, look, here's a photocopy maps for Ogre. Here's a tiny little hex map that I built up of an island back in the day for some. I think I got, yeah, that's right, somewhere here I've got rules I was writing up for Galleons and Rowboats, which was my naval type combat game. And here's another map I drew up back in the day. That's obviously for some sort of alien landscape crater. So these are kind of like magazine games. There's this one which again came out of a space game or something like that, and it's your chariot racing game. You got some extension bits there to extend. I think I got the chits for the pieces, but I haven't got the rules with me now, so unfortunately I can't do that. Which could be a bit of fun. There's this, just a flimsy bit of paper. It's called Games Day, so it's kind of like you've seen the Board Game Geek game. Well, this is, you know, the kind of thing that there's sort of Monopoly. You go round. You've got Ego Central here. Club officials lose 1 turn talking. Waddington's Monopoly sets cost 60p each. 2 available. TSR hobbies. Book costs 8. Oh, it's gold pieces. Blinded by colour display. Lose 1 turn. Right, so that's you're at a. I've never played it. You're at a convention or something, a games day, and you've got all these places you can visit. Games Workshop, Spears, Filmart, AHC, SF Jigsaws, fanzine desks, used games, Nova. That looks great fun for an old Grognard Green player. It didn't strike much to me at the time back in the day, but that looks really fun to collect. So I'll see if I can find pieces and some rules for that, if there are any. If anyone knows where that came from, what magazine that came from, please tell me, because then I might be able to, track down more about it. Otherwise I'll go on the Geek and have a look for Games Day. Then we're getting nearer to the nub of it now. The next one is Orbit War. That's it. Okay, yeah, I mounted it on a board. Right, doesn't fly flat yet, but that looks interesting. On the back, we have the board for, it's called Zoot. There it is, Zoot. I got the piece of that, so that I think I might do a video of. Now we get a bit more serious. Oh, here's something which everyone would want to see. Solitaire rules for intelligent adversaries, space combat. If you need such, let me know. I've got them here. Probably never play tested them. What else have we got? Okay, so I still haven't reached the proper stuff. Here we go. Here's my galleons and rowboats. Rules and such like. Galleons and rowboats. Now we've got fighting fantasy board game. It's called Market Mayhem. Looks really boring. You've got the marketplace, and it's using sort of the fighting fantasy characters from the books with their stats just to move around and fight. So I won't be bothering with that. I think I remember thinking it was boring at the time. Oh yeah, there's something which another thing I'd like to request you guys out there. On the back of my diabological map, I've got this map, which I guess it looks like it's squares. This looks like some sort of futuristic environment. You've got kind of like a level here. These are, I believe, futuristic pool type tables. So some kind of Azanti high lightning, I don't know, some flavour like that. If anyone knows what this is from, what it belongs to, please tell me, because I don't know, and I actually stuck it down on a piece on the back of this card. I don't want to tear it off for fear of damaging it, and there might just be, you know, another page of a magazine on the back. Then I've got this, the Barbarian, that came out of White Dwarf magazine, but I remember playing it and not being overly enthusiastic about it. It felt too random for me at the time, so I doubt I'll be playing that, and I haven't even got the pieces for it. Right, here's the pieces for Orbit War. Maybe these are the pieces for that game I just showed you, which I don't know, because we got tables and chairs. There's obviously some kind of melee combat game, but don't know about that. Okay, so I got the pieces for that Games Day game, could play that. Pieces for GEV. These are pieces for that chariot racing game. See, they're just little chariots, and some stick people. Can you see that there? There's a stick person. And then this was fun. I think these are the pieces for a game called Slash a Flick, which also came from, I believe, the Fantasy Gamer. And I remember before that I'd lost the map and the rules, but what it is, you've got these characters from the typical like Slash a Flick, and you have a slasher outside the house, and it was actually quite a good game. I remember it was quite tense and exciting, but I've lost that. I remember it for certain. And so just to round up this little video, I've got these are the games that I'm aiming to play before getting back to Pearl Harbor. I mean, I might have to do both parallel, but these kind of like help keep me going on the monster little games. These are not so little, but there we go. Birth of a Nation, Richard Berg game of the Battle of Saratoga. I remember that was quite interesting. I think I played it once back in the day. It was quite interesting, but it wasn't quite interesting enough, I remember, because what you have is this map, which is hand-drawn, which I like, but unfortunately the trees, this kind of like fuzziness and kind of strange fuzziness, which makes it a little disconcerting. But anyway, it's like a lovely big map, and you've got Beamish Heights here, so the Americans with Washington, is it Sam Arnold or someone defending along here, and Burgoyne or whomever's coming along here. He has to negotiate these, maybe try and outflank them. It's basically, the attackers have got less forces and the defenders are entrenched, so the game's a foregone conclusion. The question is, can you just do a bit better than historically? So I would be interested to play that again now with my older grognard's like eyes on it to say, oh, that's interesting, or what? Because at the time I only availed myself of one play of it. I think I kind of thought, okay, so it's pretty obvious what you do. I go up there, and then we have a fight around here, and then I lose. This one's interesting. Fourth Reich. Dun, dun, dun. It's based. There's a whole backstory to it, and I'll get into that when when I play the game. But it's a kind of game which doesn't really attract me because it's just kind of light and fluffy and it's not real. But it also attracts me because it's different from normal premise, and I think that's a lovely map. You see, hand drawn, and it's based in the future. So places like Berlin is called Berlin, so everything's been a bit corrupted from now. Budapest is Bupaz, Vienna's Wien, Milan's Mulan, and Bonn is Bonn. Leningrad is Leningrad. So basically, I understand it's a satire, and so it's a satire set in the future with a post-apocalypse area. But it's basically a sort of, in a way, it's a standard war game. But what you have is you're the sort of normal humans fighting these mutants that keep spawning, and the satire is that's a bit like how Hitler perhaps saw and definitely experienced the communists in the invasion of the USSR. Then I have two more serious games. The Last Blitzkrieg, which is from 3W, and I never actually played that, but I understand. I'm going to give it a go because I understand it's the precursor to Bitter Woods by the same designer. So it's a simple design, and it's not a complex game to play, and so it should give you kind of quite a fun and furious go on the bulge. And then finally we have here Patrol. I got a Ziploc version, so I don't think that meant it came out of the magazine, because I got actually like cardboard player aid charts and so forth, but so I don't know if I don't think it actually came in a Ziploc. I think it came in a flat pack, and I guess the flat pack for this one died at some point, so I got it as a Ziploc. I'd like to play that. I've never played it. I bought it online, kind of like on an impulse 10 or 15 years ago, and then there was too many other things that called my attention. It's one of Dunnigan's, another thing he likes to do, something like I bought recently, Men at Arms, which was another Dunnigan game. The idea being, take a whole period of history, you generalise and abstract out the essentials of combat, and then you can cover battles, you can play battles using the same counters, the same mats, the same system over a vast area of time. And this is essentially that idea for modern conflict. So from First World War II up to, like Vietnam and so forth at least. And so it's simplified, abstracted, and it's man-to-man combat. On the open plains, its precursor was Sniper, which was urban. This isn't more open terrain. So we'll see. That would be interesting to compare to another game, whose name I forgot, but I just noticed that MC Lyons, someone who I subscribe to, who's got a great channel, is thinking of playing. It's another man-to-man combat game set on the Eastern Front, and the name is called Iron Cross, which I have and I've played and I liked it, and it would be interesting to compare this to that. So I'm looking forward to seeing if MC Lyons plays and videos Iron Cross. Okay, that's it for now. That's just sort of to explain. If you're waiting for more instructional videos for the Empires of Apocalypse series, they will be coming, but give me some time. And I'll be working my way back to Pearl Harbor and the Empires of Apocalypse, but via and through these little morsels. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for watching, and hope to see more of your videos and comments soon. Bye bye.